Hello there everyone, this is I am Mark 3 and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included! And welcome back to a power room which has been struggling so much on overheat and airflow that I've actually opened the doors and left them like that. So it's actually venting CO2 straight out the top. Yeah, this is going to be healthy for my base as a whole, isn't it? But it was the only way to actually keep the darn things relatively cool. Airflow is just not enough to keep things going, and everyone is stressing the hell out. So, this place is going to hell in a handbasket really, really quickly. Sadly. But yeah, as you can see, there's been a few adjustments and changes and things, but most importantly, there's tons and tons of oxygen, and actually, I'm going to disable my oxygen processors. So I'm disabling my deoxidizers, like here. Yeah. Okay. So the good news is this thing is actually going to get torn out pretty soon. And people are stressing out because they've had to wander out into this area because, well, you probably realised that when you saw me build this thing in the first place. These things do not have adequate airflow and they are not cooled, so they are dumping straight into the surrounding area, and it's like, these things have been melting down so much I actually installed an off switch and just turned them off and left them off. So this carbon dioxide sink has actually been slowly warming back up again because I've not been cooling it. So that's been nowhere for the CO2 to go. And since there's no CO2 being pumped out, that means this place was overpressurizing, so it couldn't cool itself, so it overheated, and so I've opened this as an exhaust vent, just let CO2 start flowing out and keep it kind of working. This base's power system is such a mess. It really, really is. But that's all in the past. Because I've been digging, I've got this thing hooked up, and as you can see, this pump here is actually hooked into things. There's water flows, and I've cleaned down here, so this thing is going to be cooled out. Okay, there's no contaminated there, so let's get rid of that. Yep. Soon I'll be ready to start digging into this one, to start pumping that straight into the tanks, and my water levels are dropping. Yes. And that's because of something else I did between videos. Don't know why that's there. Empty that. Thank you. Right, and what I did is, I ran this pipe up here, and up here, and up here, and up here, into this. Yes, I actually researched and unlocked all the parts needed for the electrolyzers, and I've got a single hydrogen generator helping to power it all, hooked into that with a filter so that since the wrong gas damages the generators, it's filtering out everything else and just releasing over here. And it's all packed into a single power storage and a manual generator to try and back it all up a little bit, so that'll keep these guys running and providing all the oxygen I could wish for. Yeah, the problem is, of course, max pressure and stuff like that, so it's time to actually turn that pump off a little bit. There's lots of switches and flow valves and things, so I can manually just keep control of everything. Let's have a look now. Details. Electrolyzer. How much water do you have? 1,000 grams, 2,000 grams. You've got 2 kilograms of water in you. And what to... Yeah. Okay, that's why the valves are there, just in case it wasn't working, but it seems to be working just fine. So that's okay. These liquid valves are not needed because they are working without any kind of flaw. Thank you, Otto. Right. Now then, as you can see, I've got plans here for a much bigger hydrogen generator system, along with space for stuff like that. But I've realised something. I need to get this thing better sorted out because I'm only providing for part of my base, and without this running, I need to get the CO2 trap operational. I was going to keep going, but yeah, I was going to keep going, but I realised that I made some significant progress again, so it's time to stop and do a video. And that's been my main issue, as I said, for quite a while. It's like, I play so much, and then I do a little bit of recording, and then if I want to keep so many recordings out, it's... it feels like I'm playing a ton for each video, and I don't particularly enjoy doing that. Like, I prefer if I can put out more videos off the same amount of game time, because then if I'm forcing myself to play a lot, it actually makes me lose interest and starts driving me away from the game itself. So that's part of the reason why Oni, among other series, has been suffering a bit. Because I was forcing myself, so it stopped becoming fun. And playing to have fun is, you know, the entire basis of the entire channel. So it was going counterproductive all over the darn place. Anyway, there is also a sad duty I need to perform here as well. A very sad duty. Tasteful memorial. Where should we put this? This entire section is under construction. That's not going to work. This is going to be an access passage. Two tasteful memorials. Laid with utmost respect above the sleeping quarters. And near the centre of the base. And yes, that is because there have been deaths. 2 deaths. During the hassle of getting all of the system working and getting a full oxygen supply installed, it became too difficult to keep track of all 10 duplicates, and 2 of them paid the ultimate price. 2 of my people are dead. Got little Bert down here. Died of starvation. Because with everything going on, food wasn't being made. And he died. And where is the other one? Here we go. The Era. Died so close to what she was looking for. But again, starvation claimed her. And she died. So, yep. Problem is, she was one of my builders as well. While Bert, what was he? Bert was one of my cooks. So yeah, they both died, giving their lives for the colony of cleanliness. But I can no longer say the colony of cleanliness has been without deaths, because there have now been 2. Still a downside better than the previous colony, but I've lost people. That cannot be ignored. Let's get an extra builder out here, I think. Sure, let's get Devon installed. Welcome, Devon. But still, Bert and Liara, their time in this colony is at an end. They gave everything for this colony. And the colony is a richer place because of it. I need to get Nisbet up here. Come on. Anyway. That's enough somber thoughts. I've given them tasteful memorials made out of the finest materials I've got, in a place where many people will see them, and they'll get built and they'll get laid to rest there. I'm not going to be demolishing this section or moving them around, so that's great. They'll be just fine. But yep, that is that. Okay, right. Now then. That's fine. Building overheating. Yeah, it's those again. As I said, this thing is struggling right now because so much heat in a condensed area. You need to be very, very aware of how much space you've got. Basically. I don't want to cancel those. I actually want to rebuild those. Let's give it gas permeable tiles. Because, of course, as I said, airflow, critical issue in terms of cooling an area. So there we go. Right. Yeah, that'll do. Right. So I'm rigging this hydrogen generator to be air-cooled, so there's plenty of space up here. But I need to be aware of how that's going to do as well. So yeah, the hydrogen generator is off, so it's running off its backup reserves. 3 batteries, so that's great. Though this section is again temporary. I need to put you to priority 9 since you're a new one. Yep. And you are, yep. Okay. Let's help them out a little bit. Pretty pink. Why am I saying pink? Pretty pictures as close as possible. Because everyone's getting stressed out, so I actually need to deal with that immediately. Still, I'm getting all that sorted. Okay, right. On to the more cheerful things. One of my critical issues right now is CO2 build-up. I'm just fine with O2 because I've now got these things operational. So that's doing great. And I've built this trap here. My original plan was to have that collect all the hydrogen up here at the pump, and then just sheer pressure will force oxygen into the rest of the base, but that's not going to work. Because, quite simply, these things are overpressurized and then they won't go anywhere. So, I need to actually do manual piping and get all that sorted out. And that means a heck of a lot more wiring and stuff as well. So, yeah, that's something to do. 2 people are stressed now. It is Nisbet and Otto, apparently. Otto and Nisbet. Okay, those are the 2 critical ones. Because apparently 60% is the critical threshold. 50% is a good place to start dealing with it. But yeah, anyway, moving on. I need to check power requirements and things. Because I'm turning this entire section into my primary power plant, basically. That's my thoughts. This is all temporary stuff. And also I've got bad builders doing things, so... that was another issue. Because I was struggling to get things done, I reassigned everyone to everything, and so I need to take that off. Repriorities. Reprioritize things. Art. I've got my 3rd cook down here, which is May. But she's still very bad at it because... that is a she, isn't she? Wait, where is May? That might be a he, I'm not sure. The hairstyle isn't... oh, it's a she. I saw the eyelashes. Yeah, May is a girl. Anyway. I need to tear out this section here. Yep. Because to get the carbon dioxide sink operational again... actually, I need to turn that one. Disable that building. It's only operating that, so just the manual generators will do that so far. Also, I need to feed the hatch. So, I have actually been getting all my slime into here. And there we go. I am feeding all of my slime to the hatch. Because why the hell not? It's a good use for it, really, I think. And yep, the pipes are fully pressurized with water. That's all fine and dandy. Let's see, I need a oxygen. Let's... oh, I don't have the deodorizer yet. Because I still need to... that's my only 2 techs left. Sanitation and medbay. Yeah, I still don't have sanitation. The colony of cleanliness still doesn't have showers. I don't know why. It's just been so low priority. Anyway, okay, that's torn out. Yeah. That space was not adequate for purpose. And I think roughly a single... actually, let's use this space here for this. Why not? Why not? Yeah. This looks okay. Let's dig all that out. Actually, no. Right. I'll let the people keep doing their stuff over there. Yep. Stress is back under control. Right. I'm actually going to build a proper cooling section for this arrangement here. And since this is my main passageway down from that side of the base, I am going to build it into this space. Since it's all, you know, big and empty, diggers won't be required. Just flat out go over there and build stuff is the order of the day. So, this will need to be airlocked because it's going to be a contained area. It's going to need to be insulated as well. So, I might as well use granite for it because I've got plenty. How much heat do these things put out? Let's see. Utilities, right. Because I'm building this thing to be fully air-cooled from the ground up, so it won't overload itself again, basically. It's also going to be pretty darn power-intensive too, so... 240 watts. Produces 2.5 kilowatts of heat, actually. And I know from the previous testing that roughly a thermal regulator, if it's got adequate airflow, can negate a full 50 in heat. So that's fine. If I need to be aware of the heat consumption. Sorry, the power consumption. So, how should I do this? Let's put 3, like that, yep. 2, 4, 6, 720 power. That's pretty high. Let's get pumps. Need to get the pump involved. 720 power. 8, 9, 20, 30, 40, 50, 960 power. Okay, that's 960 power requirement to run this setup. 960, that's okay. Then I need to get some filters involved as well, so that's going to add to the cost. I'm going to aim for roughly just over 1 kilojoule power requirement. So remove that. Let's give it an additional. Yeah. Let's give it an additional filter. Sorry, not filter. Additional regulator like that. Yep. That's going to be fine. What I'm building, I'm building it all out of copper. Actually, I want to keep that. I want to hang on to that. But I know what I'm doing. So, right. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, right. Okay. This will be weighing at roughly 1.2 kilowatts of power to run this thing. Can't really do much about that. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Checkamundo. Power requirements. Sorry, no, now it's the plumbing requirement. Okay. Gas pumps. Yep. That'll vent from there and from there. Actually, whereabouts is it? It's... Oh yeah, I know. Right. I want this to be the same, so from there and from there. That's okay. Right. Then I require gas permeable tiles. Again, I'll use the gold amalgam to get that in place. And one there. Move that. So that's fine. I'm going to need to do some digging, sadly, but that can't be helped. Don't need that there because it's all just going to be in that way. Into those. So yeah, this is actually going to be a more efficient air-cooled space, because I have been faltering quite badly on this thing, but it has been very useful as a test bed, so I can do more effective air cooling, assuming the gas permeable tiles work as intended. That seems to be a slight issue, but can't know everything again, so like that. So there we go, plenty of airspace like that. That's going to be a flat-out insulated layer to make sure the space is properly secured from the outside. And then it's going to be a layer of plain tiles around it, like that, which is going to have to come in like this. So, GGG, right, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can't quite build that, so I'm going to have to be careful here. Dig, trio. dig, trio. Let's... some temporary ladders are called for, so... Actually, no. I need to leave enough space for them to move around in here, so... Actually, that was the right place. That'll give enough access to get at that layer. Like so. Then I require a ladder set up here to do that. And then... yep, that layer there is fine as well, so... Dig. Get that. Get those. Right, and let's put a ladder there and there. That is all correct, isn't it? Oh wait, that's the one that's out of position. Right. So, ladder, dig. Okay, and there we go. That is the basic layout I'm going to be using for my new cooling section to get my CO2 trap back operational. Let's go gold. Yep. Twin locks. Right. The thing is, though, this is going to be actually powered from elsewhere. So it's going to be powered from my primary power plants up here, and because of the max circuit loads and how things are working like that, that's going to be one hell of an issue. Right. So where should I put the switch? I want the switch to be where it's hottest, so it will be over here by these. Actually, should I install the batteries in here as well? I could do. I could put the batteries in. That would work. I need to make it bigger though. A local power storage in this self-cooled room, and there's plenty of spare cooling capacity. I might as well, I figure. I might as well include some power storage in this place too. Localized power store, so that I can actually sever it from the primary connections and things if I need to, and it'll keep on running for at least a while. So, yeah. Let's do that. Sure, let's make this even bigger and more complicated. 1, 2, 3. So that'll be there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 batteries. Won't keep it running for long after the power gets cut out, but it'll help. It'll help. So I guess that's all okay. Yeah, look at this. I've used up almost all of my gold amalgam already. And there goes all the gold. Right, so I'm back to using the power. Okay, let's get the plumbing back in. Actually, let's get the basic structure back in. That's where the tiles are. That's the gap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Install a couple of heavy batteries. They're bigger heat sources anyway, so they need to be cooled more than those things do. That's fine. Power switch. Get the plumbing back in, so this will be a case of this is just the content of this entire episode, isn't it? It's like, hey, look at me, I'm going to build all this stuff. Yeah, let's get those filters in as well, actually, while I'm thinking about it. Anyway, I should mention now, let's actually talk a bit of theory. What I figured out after I did that, so that one's too cluttered, is you want to actually get the pipes running at max efficiency, because if these are spending power to cool 500 grams of atmosphere, they might as well spend 200 their power to cool 1,000, you know. Cool as much as possible. And that'll make it more power efficient if they can do that. So, twin pumps, they can only pump 500 each, but combined they can pump 1,000. Let's actually expand this out one more, so they've got full airflow around that. That'll make them a bit more efficient. I need to move this ladder over again. Jeez. I keep changing my darn mind. Then ladder right there for access. Dig there for access. Dig there for access. Yep. Okay, that should about do it. So I've got these twin pumps here, which will be responsible for all of the cooling. And then to make sure that airflow is even, let's go into... actually, it doesn't matter to have insulated, because, you know, insulated is more expensive anyway. 400 grams, yep. Well, this one costs 25, so yeah, that's a no-brainer. If you don't need the insulated pipes, there's no freaking need to use it. So, let's do that. These things will be running cold anyway, so they'll help cooling when the cold CO2 is coming in and going back out, so that's okay. That one pump will be able to handle all of this, so in and out. That means let's use obsidian for this. That's that. Okay. And then this will be the outflow pipe to there. Yeah, that's fine, yeah. Like that. I'm going to have to relay these pipes now, aren't I? Oh, jeez. Right, pump. Where's the X button? Remove the gas pipes. Remove them all, I say. Because, sure. Why not? Yep, just tear those out, that's fine. Okay. So, I've got... actually, I need access in here to properly deal with this, so... Yeah, I'm going to have to repipe all of this, actually. I'm going to have to repipe all of this. So, let's tear those out. I can actually leave that... No, can I? Oh. You know what? Tear it all out. Tear it all out. That's the other air intake pipe coming in from wherever I start pumping CO2 over there. So that's all that. I've got all of this set up to scalding hot. Yep, that's going on in that power room over there. Of course it is. So I've got all this set up, right? I've been doing this entire episode just on getting this place built. Sorry about this. It wasn't my plan. But you know me and plans. I always forget to do things, and I go off the rails and stuff like that. Where's the plumbing? Oop. Plumbing. Here, plumbing. Right. Vents. Right. Vents. Go me. One there, one there. Yeah. And let's actually cancel those two. And put in a fresh door, like that. Sure. Why not? That's okay. Right, now, I've done that because I want to include a couple of bridges for my plumbing. They don't have to be liquids, they need to be gas bridges. Okay, so that will help there. That's fine. And the reason I'm doing this is because to help ensure proper airflow, I've got these two intakes of air in those two squares there and those two squares there. I want to have two outputs of air as well for the cooled air that's coming back through the system. So they'll pump into... I've got this backwards, haven't I? Yeah, I have. There and there. And then I'll put the additional gas permeable tile into place there. Okay, and that means I need the bridge to be 1 over. Sorry. This is my precision engineering at work, ladies and gentlemen. Very much so. So that's a 1 there. Okay. And then this gas pipe will go like this. Yep. And then that'll be heading straight back to the CO2 trap, so that's fine. And then this one will be splitting to get access to this, so it needs to go down and around and up, like so. Then it'll split there to go straight into that vent, or it'll go straight through here to get access to this vent. So it splits the output flow. This is going to be the one carrying all of the internal air, and it's going to come into that. And then these two will combine to get the maximum pressure going into that pump there. So this one will be local cooling. These three will be cooling the CO2 trap. So that's going to be fine. And now there's the fact that sometimes you will get... Let's automatic that. Thank you. Switch to auto mode. And because of the fact that sometimes you'll get other things going through, that doesn't matter in this bit, but it does matter for the CO2 trap. So I'm going to install a couple of filters in here as well. So that's going to just add to the strain a little bit. But might as well, because I don't want to be doing anything other than CO2 into this trap, because if other things get frozen in liquid in there, then it'll mess it up. They'll take up squares that could be used for CO2, so might as well be careful with that, I suppose. So yeah, these pumps will filter out CO2. And actually it needs to be along here. Or it'll have to be outside the actual thing. Might as well do it outside, actually, quite honest. Yeah, might as well. So this one will deal with the feed coming through from here. Actually, by that logic, I should have a second pump in there as well. Oh. Okay, let's just let people clean out that stuff while I include a new order for an additional pump in there. So I get 2 pumps, though the thing is that because of the pressure and the poor airflow, that's going to be an issue. So these pumps and these coolers are not going to be operating maximum efficiency, ever. Well, actually they will after a bit because they have the problem of getting pressure back in. So, you know, that's going to be a slight issue. Anyway, yeah, that's all plumbed in. That's all plumbed in. Power cords need to be plumbed in. It's going to have to be heavy watt, and that's going to be horrendously expensive because of high watt. I mean, look at this. 25 kilograms for that. 100 kilograms for that. So 4 times the cost on high wattage wires. And it's flat out not worth it. Not really. Can I get away with dropping this to standard wire because of the sheer expense of it? But to make this thing as efficient as possible, it requires the whole, you know, the whole build out of high conductivity wires because of the increased power demand of the local area kind of thing. So quite honestly, the weight limits on the wires is a pain to deal with. I must be quite honest with that. I find them quite painful trying to deal with them. But anyway. Right. So that's going to be that. The power is going to have to be either... Well, the thing is, that could handle a The problem is I've got hydrogen generators, right? They're my main power source. I could have a circuit running on a coal gen and a manual wheel for backup, and that will not overload it. But the moment I plug in more than that, like if I had a hydrogen and a manual wheel backing it up, I couldn't use basic wire. I'd have to use heavy wattage wire, and that is, as I said, 4 times as expensive, and I'm actually short on metal right now. So that's an issue. Is it such a huge issue? I'm going to have to do some metal mining and stuff like that between videos and just get more metal, because I flat out require more metal. There we go. Ooh, the expense, the sheer expense of this. Okay, right, and because I've done that, I can't actually install the power switch for this system. That's the power switch there for that. This is going to be the power line down here, and then I'll leave a deliberate break in there. So, yep, that's going to be like that. And that's going to be the power line. It's all really simple because it's all like that. But that is the whole assembly now. All it requires is the pumps, the filters, which I can't build anymore because of the metal. Darn it. And food shortage, yes I know. So I can't build the pumps anymore, but I can still build the pipes. So that's going to be the intake there. I need to decide where I'm going to put the pumps. Should I run it through the same system or not? Because one of these pump filters is going to be just filtering incoming air going straight into the tank. And the other is going to be filtering air being pumped out of the tank to deal with all that. So, actually, I should have one over here, shouldn't I? Yeah. That goes there. I need to actually remove a gas pipe there, because that's what the intake. So that'll be that. That can deal with all that. That's fine. And then there'll be a filter there dealing with that, and then there will be a gas pipe here dealing with all the excess that comes out. Might as well put that down there for now. And again, I can't build a vent because no metal. So, hooray! Whose bright idea was it to have the gas vents be metal, and when you can build the pipes out of stone? I don't quite agree with that, but yeah. Anyway, this is going to be the intake group here. All gas piping must come through here. Remove all that. Gas bridge is required, so that'll be like that. And then that's the other feed line coming through like that. So that's be that, and then that'll merge straight into there. That'll be the filter. That'll be that coming through there. So I need to have 2 more bridges, I think. Yeah, 2 more bridges to deal with this, and then I need one to be like that. 2 gas bridges coming through like this. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's looking okay. Now, why do I need 2? Because I need to connect to these pumps. And this means the insulated, because I don't want this area heating up the stuff in there, so that's going to be insulated, so it's going to be expensive. Okay, that is the output line, so that is going to be running to this vent here. So that's going to be like that. Then needs to get past that, so I can't do anything until this is demolished. That sucks. Okay, and then this will be the pumping line. Cancel demolishing that, because I want that to run through here, get past that. Then I'll need an additional filter over here, for the time being at least, which will make sure that it's only CO2 being cooled, because I don't need to bother with the rest of it. So actually I don't need that to be full weight, that can just be standard weight piping, because that's the stuff I don't care about dealing with, so that can go over here. Yeah, that's fine. I'll deal with the exhaust gases more some other point. And then the insulated stuff will duck through here. Yes, that's fine. And then it'll switch to standard weight since it's in this controlled environment now, and so the cooling in here will just help flat out in general. And then that'll plug straight into that one, and there we go. Okay, this will be... I've spent more than half an hour on this thing, just messing around, basically. But, yeah, that should do it. So, as you can see, I've designed here, minus the parts I can't build because of lack of materials. I've got a fully insulated, self-contained, air-cooled, localized power storage and massive cooling section to run for this storage section. It's also fitted out so it can filter out all unwanted gases that might wind up in there, usually from people going in to do maintenance work or whatever. And I also have a filter on this output over here, and what will also pump in CO2 from the main base itself after a bit. So it'll filter out everything except what's supposed to be in here, and it'll just dump into this area for the time being. But it'll only be pure CO2 in this area, and that's what I want. So yeah, that's it. That's it. End of video. I've talked your ears off long enough, but you can see this blueprint I've laid out for what I think will sustain itself quite nicely in terms of air cooling, and I've made a mistake in the power lines. Oh, darn it. It's that heavy wire there. Cancel. Because, of course, it needs to go through the thermo switch to run the pumps. And I'll have to wait until I get some metal before I can actually place that again. So, anyway, this has been entirely me working on a new cooling system for my carbon dioxide sink. So, yeah, I hope that was interesting, you guys. Sorry about focusing on that so much, but that just wound up being what I was building the entire darn time. But honestly, I've enjoyed doing this more than the requested style, which was a case of skip the time, get it all built, and then just say, here, I've done this and this and this, this is how it works, end of that, and then go off and do something else. I've actually enjoyed it more doing it this way. Even if that might not be as entertaining to you people watching. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. That's that. End of video. This has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you very much for watching, and congratulations if you stuck it out this far, because I got sidetracked and then just ran with it. I didn't mean to spend the entire video building that thing, but that's pretty much what I've done. So yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all some other time for some other video. There will be another Oni video later this week, so yeah. No need to worry about that. May and Mima. Yep, there we go. So yeah, see you all later. Also, I want... Who's my artist? Now that I think about it, who is my artist anymore? Rowan is. Right. Generally doing research and other stuff like that, so... Priority 9 painting, that will get Rowan to deal with this, and I can more effectively deal with stress. Okay. Sounds good. I just need to turn this back on. Yeah, the video should have ended by now, shouldn't it? Okay, that's pumping. It's mostly getting hydrogen. That's helping a little bit. And that's why I need to pump all this, because otherwise it just overpressurizes and stops. But there goes the hydrogen generator to keep everything operational. Glorious.